So, hello everybody. This is LaToya of Infinite Nature, and I am back with a new video. And it's been a minute. The last time I made a video, it was at my 13th week of my pregnancy, and I was giving like an update of what I've been experiencing from the time that I found out that I was pregnant all the way up until my 13th week. So now I'm currently in my 17th week, so it's approximately a month later. And since then, I have, gotten into my second trimester. I have had my second midwife appointment. I have started to connect with other women in the community who are expecting or just had their children. And one thing that I realized about my area or where I live at, there's a lot of support for expecting and mothers, which is very great. So I have gone to some meetups, and I've gotten some education on breastfeeding and things of that nature, my husband and I. So I'm very grateful about that. I've been contemplating whether or not I'm interested in a doula. So I'm just reflecting on that. And a doula is, for those who don't know, is a little different from a midwife. Midwife, more so is like they focus on like the medical part, just like you would if you go to an OBGYN. So the midwife can pretty much do similar things that an OBGYN does. It's just, to me, more of a holistic track, more of a natural way, more comfortable, more hands-on, more I feel like more intimate, more relatable. I really, really love the relationship that me and my husband have with our midwife. She is awesome. She is well knowledgeable with her field of work. She has lots of experience, and she definitely is passionate about the birthing process, about supporting women on this beautiful journey. So I am so excited that we connected with her. She is great at what she does, so I have to give a big ups to her. So like a doula is more so like, from what I'm understanding, from what I researched and what some people have expressed in their experiences, and what people have shared about what a doula is that they provide more so of the emotional support, and they they also are there during the birthing process. But not every doula does the same thing, so I definitely understand why people have stressed to make sure that I go on interviews, and if I'm really interested in just to see definitely if the person would be a good fit, or if I would need a doula, what I'm saying? So they're also there to support through the process, and they can work as a kind of work with the midwife too, kind of, I guess, have like a flow with each other. So I never experienced it. I'm just basing this upon what was shared with me. I feel like other people who may have experienced one or the other or both would have a better take on it, what I'm saying? But I feel like there's benefits to both of them, and especially I feel like, from what I've observed, it seemed like a doula is really good in a hospital setting. If you're not gonna do a midwife, a doula is really good in a hospital setting. They will be like your, the person that like supports you and kind of like just sees if, make sure that everything goes okay with you and things of that nature. So it was really good, kind of like that second voice for the mother. So I appreciate the doulas and the midwives and all that they do. I feel like it can be a very intimate experience and very refreshing experience, if you align yourself with the right midwife and doula or doula. So so I've been I kind of got sidetrack, excuse me, trying to think about where I was at. But like so I was looking for doulas. I'm like trying to debate on whether I want to do that or not, you know. So I've also been reading some books. I got this in the mail, Baby Greens. It's a live food approach, for children of all ages. And it's by Michaela Lynn and Michael Chrisheimer. And I've kind of got this book because I was more focused on the fact that it had like a guidance on how to feed a child who eats live foods. So that's what I was kind of looking at, you know, and just thinking it was going to be mostly recipes. But I was pleasantly surprised and found that it also talks about pregnancy, a raw vegan pregnancy. And the woman talked about her experiences in having a raw vegan pregnancy, and I find that it was very similar to mine, that I mostly in my first trimester wanted to eat fruit. That was the most easiest thing to do. For me, it was also drinking juices, and like coconut water, it was a little bit easier for me to take those things down versus just eating the things that I would normally eat. So I was very like, cool, that's cool how her pregnancy and symptoms were very in alignment with mine, and she eats live foods. And it talks about breastfeeding. It talks about all types of stuff about preparing for just having a more natural pregnancy, childbirth, and raising a child in a more natural holistic health setting, because that's what we intend to do. And you know, until that child is of age and they start if they want to explore other things, they will definitely have to learn how to prepare their own foods if they don't want to eat the same thing. I'm just being real. So if I'm still like eating live foods at that time. So another one that I've been reading, my mother, she's very excited. So she's gotten this for me at yard sale. She bought me and my husband some books about pregnancy, preparing for pregnancy. But this is actually a really good book. I actually like it. It goes from month to month what to expect, and you can write in it what your experiences are, and you know, it talks about after you had the baby and breastfeeding and all of that stuff. So I really like this book. I've been reading it here and there. I haven't read this one book, but my mother also got this from a yard sale because she knows that I'm going to be reading this complete book of breastfeeding. So if anybody read this book, you could definitely share with me what's your take. It looks like it's a lot of good information in here. A lot of good information. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking into this. Here's another one that I started reading in 2013 before I even thought about having a baby, and this really convinced me to have a childbirth at home. After watching The Birth of Being, what is it called? I forgot the name. I just had a brain fart, but I mentioned it in my last video. The Business of Being Born. That's what it's called. The Business of Being Born. You know, and this book definitely was something that I read during that same time period, but I read it like halfway through. But it was enough from reading half of this book and also watching that movie convinced me that I wanted a birth at home. You know what I'm saying? I just prefer it. I prefer it that way. I don't want to step into a hospital if I don't have to. So that's just how I feel about it. Everybody has their own preferences, and I prefer to be at home in my own space where I'm comfortable. And like I said, I'm confident enough to have it at home, have my baby at home. So, but this is a really good book, and I really want to reread it again from start to finish. So, but I haven't done that yet. But those are some of the books that I've been reading. As far as since the last time that I've talked to you, I was at 13 weeks, so I was telling you about that. So as I was going into my like 14th week, I told y'all about like feeling a little not quite constipation, but it was just hard for me to release my bowels. Let's just put it like that. Like it wanted to come out, but it was difficult to come out. And sometimes it was this is going to be too much information for some people, but this is reality of pregnancy. Sometimes when when it would come out, I would bleed. Like that's how, like, I was just like, oh my goodness. So I was just like, Lord, let me just see what's going on. What helped me, I've noticed that it was easier for me when I ate mangoes. Something about mangoes let it come out easier. Once I started to really take I don't think at that time I was taking probiotics. My midwife also recommended probiotics. In the last video I told y'all that, you know, I was taking my prenatals, and I'm still taking those from Garden of Life. And I'm also taking vitamin D3s. And I'm also taking a probiotic. So, and I'm going to show it to you. It's also Garden of Life brand. So it has to be in a refrigerator. So it's 30 billion once daily. You know what I'm saying? It has 14 probiotic strains in it. I'm not going to keep it out too long. But this is, you know, probiotics are supposed to support you in digesting. I was advised that it's great for pregnancy and for pregnant women, and it just supports you in digestion and releasing. I did feel a difference after I started to take those. I feel like it did help. And I also started taking protein. Like I mentioned in my last video, my midwife recommended that I have at least 81 grams of protein a day. She recommended that for a pregnant woman, especially me being a raw vegan, a vegan. She advised me to go on ahead and up that up, and she told me that would support me in not having that unsettled feeling, because I didn't throw up. You know, I haven't experienced like straight up vomiting or anything, but like I mentioned, I experienced I experienced nausea, and when I didn't have nausea, I had like just an unsettled feeling in my stomach. And she advised that once I started to increase my protein, that I would feel better. And that's exactly what happened. And I feel like I am at my healthiest during this pregnancy, and I'm even more feeling my body, more intuitive with my body. I have more energy. She even mentioned to me that she could see with the second appointment that we had, that I was more vibrant, that I had more energy, and she was happy about that. So this is what we've been buying, Garden of Life. I have the prenatals, I have the probiotics there, and I have this protein. This is the flavor of chocolate. Me and my husband, we did some sampling first. We sampled, little small packets just to see which ones we wanted. And we like chocolate and we like vanilla. So it has a lot of great ingredients in it. I think, considering the fact that it's a raw vegan protein, it is excellent. I just like it. It tastes good. It tastes good. And if it continues to be a good product, when as my baby gets older, I will definitely have them eat it too, because this is very kid friendly, the chocolate one, yeah. So this is the chocolate one, and this is the vanilla. I think we got a smaller one. Because we're trying a new one. This is a different one. This is not vanilla, but it's a new one. So we got a smaller one of that just to see how it is. And I so love using these. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes it's difficult for me to drink the smoothies. Sometimes I just don't feel like having a smoothie. Like, yeah, I prefer juices over smoothies. But I will say that they've been tasty. It depends on which type of fruits and vegetables you mix together to help with your concoction of your protein smoothies. Yeah. So this is what's up. Once I started to up my protein and be more, and we started sprouting. We sprout different seeds, like particularly sunflower seeds. So we started to do that, and pretty much I just been more mindful of the intake of my protein, and just pretty much making sure I get at least. I strive to do two smoothies a day with the protein. Some days I know that I've hit my limit because I'm super full. Like some days I don't even do it. Some days I just do one a day in the morning because I'm like, you know what? I end up falling asleep because I'm super full, and I'm like, I'm good. Like, sometimes I just don't need another one. So I've been definitely hitting my protein, and I've been able to have a bigger appetite. I'm able to eat kale again, so I'm back at eating the stuff that I used to eat. So because of that, it's easier for me to hit that protein intake level. I'm the type, I can't eat just almonds straight up. The type of seeds that I can eat are the sprouted ones. I like eating sprouted nuts. Sprouted pumpkin seeds by a certain brand. I forgot the name of the brand, but it's so good. I can eat those, like pop those in my mouth. They're really good. So whenever I feel that whenever I can feel when I need some protein, and what I end up doing is I end up eating something that has protein in it, whether it's some nuts or get a smoothie or something like that, so I can tell when I'm needing some protein. And then other than that, I eat a salad, eat fruit, eat a lot of mango, a lot of watermelon. Those are my go-to. I love eating both of those. So I love eating my berries. Those are really good. I like eating berries in my smoothies. I like the tartness to it. So that's what I've been doing as of late. As far as that goes, there was something else that I wanted to share. So yeah, my 15th week, going into my 15th week, my 14th week, I kind of felt that straightness, but I felt like it definitely, I'm not experiencing that anymore. Let's just put it like that. As far as the straining and the bleeding coming out because of out of the butt, like, oh my gosh. But anyway, going into my 15th week, I was like, okay, I thought I was going to get a longer experience of not having sore breasts. My breasts started to not be as sore around 13 weeks. And I was just like, okay, great. And then like once I started to get into my 15th week, it started to hurt again. I was like, oh, that was not long enough. So I started having really sore breasts. I started feeling like definitely my belly was starting to expand. I was just like, oh, I'm feeling this. I started to feel more of a hardness in my pelvic region and everything. So for a while, I'm so used to being so small, I wasn't really paying attention until one day I put on some pants again. Because like I said, I really hadn't been out and about. So I just kind of been free around the house. But when I started to go out and about and I started putting on my pants, I was just like, oh, I'm not even going to try to put on these other pants because I know it's not going to fit. Like my pants around the waist area started to feel, it's not comfortable anymore. And then my husband saw me. He was like, oh yeah, you have a little bump now. People that know me, they can see the bump. But people that don't know me, they're like, you're not really showing. But I'm like, I'm definitely showing. Like I'm showing to me because I feel the changes. Like, and it's funny because like at my 16th week appointment with my midwife, so I get on the scale and I gained approximately 7 pounds. in 4 weeks. And I was like, what? Like, I was so surprised, and she was surprised too. And my husband was like, yes, because I've been feeding her like she's a bodybuilder. I ain't been playing with the protein. And I'm like, yeah, we haven't been playing with the protein. So yeah, I gained 7 pounds, and I think that's good for me, considering the fact that, I'm small. I plan on breastfeeding. I'm carrying a child, so this is good. I need to put on some weight to carry, to make sure that I can do the things, that my body is able to handle this stuff. So I'm glad, and this is what happens when, you listen to what your midwife or your doctor says to do. Like you listen. Like that's just part of my nature, or whatever. That this is when it works in my favor. Sometimes I could be too much and be too much like hard on myself, but this is one of those things that I had to really be like, LaToya, you need, like, this is important to me, to make sure I'm responsible for a life now. So that's how I looked at it. So I gained 7 pounds, and according to my midwife, my child is measuring at 18 weeks instead of 16. So and also the heartbeat was great and strong. So overall, it was a great appointment. Everything is all good, and yeah. So I'm pretty excited. I got more energy now. I'm finding that I want to touch more. Like, I want to touch my husband and hug him and hold him, and him hold me. I'm more clingy. Like, I feel more clingy. Not really clingy, but like, yeah, I just want to touch. I think part of it is because of, just getting into that mothering, process. And I've been definitely carrying my heart chakra crystals lately. I've been drawn to the heart chakra crystals, and when I read up on heart chakras for crystals and researched on it more, I didn't say heart chakra crystals. It's rose quartz, which is a heart chakra crystal. My bad. Yeah. So once I looked that up, I realized that that is a really great crystal for expecting mothers. So I was like, oh, that makes sense now. Okay, I get it. Because when your fourth chakra is becoming more balanced, you don't mind having people near you and touching you and stuff like that. So yeah, so I find that also interesting. I feel like my skin is glowing. I can see it, like, it is glowing. I don't have that weirdness that I had with the skin earlier. What was it, about a month ago, where I felt like my skin was shedding and stuff like that. I'm not experiencing that anymore, thankfully. More people know. A lot of my family, once I gave my family that knew, I gave them a heads up that they can tell other people. So a lot of people in my family are finding out. And because I've been going to classes or going to meetups, some people that I know, they're starting to find out, so. Because, Savannah is not but so big. So, yeah. So, I know that eventually people are just going to know. So, I'm fine with that now. But I'm still not sharing anything until, like, once I get at least to my 20-week. I just feel that way, I'm not in a rush to tell people, tell social media so early and stuff. And I definitely understand why some people don't even showcase none of it at all, because this is a private journey, and it's very sacred and private. So I get it. I feel drawn to do this, especially with what my passion is, and so I feel drawn to do it. You don't really see that many women talking about raw vegan pregnancies. There are definitely women who talk about it, but not as much as I would like to see. So that's why I'm doing it. You feel me? So you can see any changes that happens on how I'm experiencing it, so I'm very excited. As far as my stomach, I don't really have, it's probably not going to be as obvious to you guys, because you don't know me like that, but I'm a very tiny petite person. So I have a little bump. This is I'm sorry, I'm being a little, but just so you can see how I got a little belly, you know. So it's there. It's there, but it's nicely hidden. It can, you know, I can hide, you know, I can hide it, you know. But if you know me, you're like, oh yeah, Toya, you got it, you got it. You got a little bump there because I'm very small. But people don't know me. It's like, you're not really showing that much. But I haven't popped yet, of course. But I'm just excited about this journey. And that's it for now. I may have forgotten something. Yeah, I may. But this is what it has been. I'm in week 17. Yeah. So I'm almost halfway at the halfway point. 3 more weeks and I'll be at the halfway point. I have not gotten as much stuff yet. I'm not in a rush to get stuff. Partially because we're not going to know the sex until the day of birth. So I'm not in a rush to get a whole bunch of clothes. And I know that people are going, like my mom has already gotten some things. My sister has already gotten some things. My mom has already brought some stuff for us. So yeah, we're kind of working on getting the baby room kind of cleared out because there's just a whole bunch of stuff in that room that's going to be for the baby. Yeah, cause yeah, but my husband has been making steps to prepare for that. So that's it for now. That's all that I have to share. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.